Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a budget with me for the second paycheck of March, so let's get started. All right, you'll notice there's a little bit of a change of scenery here. I am at my dining room table today. Just the lighting was better here, that's all that is. So, all right, let me get my papers in order here. Now, if you have been with me for a minute, you know the first budget that I have down is a mock budget that I do off of $2,300. And I use that as a rough guide. That's pretty much what our low end paychecks are. So I try to go off the low end so I don't get any surprises and I'm nice and budgeted and I don't have to figure out who I'm not going to pay for the month. So I like to go off of the 2,300 because usually our paychecks are more than that. So then that gives me a nice room to kind of make some adjustments where I want to. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Our paycheck for this go round was $2,600. So we have a little bit of extra to play with, which is nice. Okay, so pretty much everything is going to stay the same here. I think there's one or two things that are going to change. These are all of our regular monthly bills for the month that we pay. Now this all of these amounts I transfer from our checking into a side account that I have named at the bank as Bills Transfer Fund. And so what I do is I take half of the amount of our bill for the month and I transfer that with each paycheck. And then when that bill comes due, I just transfer it out of that Bills Transfer Fund and I transfer it back into the checking so the money is already there. And the nice thing about doing it this way is that I don't have to have a $2,600 paycheck and then pay an entire mortgage payment out of that paycheck, leaving me with a very little amount to play with for the rest of the month. Instead, we're just taking half of each bill amount out of every paycheck. That way, we're not selling ourselves short on any of our bill amounts, which is really nice. So the only thing that changes is right here, consumers. Consumers was significantly higher than I thought it would be. Our gas prices have gone up significantly here in Michigan, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for everybody. So where I live, I think it's our block is one of the only ones that does this, but DTE usually provides electricity and gas. However, on my block, we have DTE for electricity and Consumers Energy for gas. So our Consumers Energy, our gas bill alone is extremely, extremely high this year. It was definitely not this high last year, so I know that the prices have gone up. So instead of putting 50 in, we actually have to put 80 in to make up the cost. So let's add those together and see where we're at. Okay, we're at 1438. And that is going to leave us with 1162 to use. Okay, so now these are my cash envelopes here. Pretty much this is all going to stay the same. Groceries, gas, spending, dining out, medical, toiletries, Layla's allowance, miscellaneous, and entertainment. Nothing changed there, so we are going to keep that at $495, which leaves us with $667. Now there may be some adjustments to groceries soon. If you guys watched my grocery haul video, you will know that I used my entire budget in that grocery haul video of the $500, which is fine. However, I still have to buy fresh produce for the rest of the month. So technically, we are over budget with the groceries. So I may have to make another adjustment to our grocery budget. Unfortunately, if you remember back last year, I think we were maybe at $400 a month, $375, something like that. So going over $500 is pretty painful. So, but I know everybody's feeling it, and it's really rough. And so I completely empathize with anybody who's feeling the pinch for sure. Okay, so these are my sinking funds, and these I think are going to stay pretty much the same. We have Christmas, clothing, Andrew. So now for Andrew, I'm going to put little dots here for Andrew and subscriptions. Now you will notice I have subscriptions in my monthly bills, but those are monthly subscriptions like Disney Plus, Netflix, things like that. Those are monthly charges. The subscriptions that I have in here are yearly subscriptions that we're only charged for once a month, but I still like to put the money away for them every month. That way I'm not hit with a huge charge. For example, Amazon Prime. We pay that once a year, and it would kind of screw up our entire budget if we had to pay that $140 now, I think it is, $140 without saving any of that up. It would really screw up my budget. So I put a certain amount away every single month for that, so that when the time comes, I can just pull it out of our subscriptions account and it's already saved up for and paid for, so I don't have to worry about making a budget for that. As well as our Costco membership is in there, and then my husband has a couple of video game subscriptions, so those are in there as well. So that subscriptions, if it's confusing for you and you see, wait a minute, Renee, you have some subscriptions over here, this is for our yearly subscriptions, things that we're charged for once a year. That way we don't get hit with a huge charge every single year. We're saving up for it every month, so the money is already in there and taken care of. So I do keep Andrew's money and the subscription money in their separate accounts at the bank. So I also have a side savings account labeled Andrew and another one labeled subscriptions, because those subscriptions yearly charges are taken out of our checking account. It's just easier for me to keep them at the bank. So I do that, and I transfer that money into the bank account. And then my husband likes to shop online with his money, so we just keep that in the account, and it's easier that way. All of this is going to stay the same. And if you haven't watched my last video, you will know I am currently 17 weeks pregnant. So I have started a kind of a sinking fund for the baby, just because there are formula shortages and things like that. When I go out, I like to buy a can of formula or even a box of diapers or something like that, just to kind of get myself set up a little bit. That way we're not in a panic when we have the baby and where there's still supply issues. This way I can kind of be prepared, and I have a little bit of a backstock, so we're not hurting too badly. So that is what that is for. And so since none of those numbers have changed, we are still at $349, which leaves us with $318, which, if you notice, is significantly more than the $48 that I thought we would have. So that is really nice. So right off the bat, the first thing I'm going to do is put $100 into our emergency fund, and the little side savings that I do for my kids, I do $5 every paycheck, and I started one last paycheck for the baby. And then our 52-week challenge, I've mentioned this in other videos. Our 52-week challenge, we decided to use the money to throw my in-laws a 50th wedding anniversary party, so that's where those funds are going. I did budget for 30, but because we have so much extra, I think I'm going to double it to 60. So let's put 60 in there, because I want to get some of those bigger numbers down. And I've put green dots. This was last paycheck's numbers. I just haven't colored it in, so I'm just going to color them in when I do my next cash stuffing, my cash envelope stuffing, and you'll see that. So looking at this, I'm seeing a lot of 19s that I haven't done. So if I want to do 60, let's do two of the 19s and see where we're at. So that's going to leave us with that. We're at 38 and we still have to do 60. So I want to round that up. There's a 12. So I'm going to do 12 and that's going to leave us at 50. Is there a 10 available? There is. So 10, and that's going to put us right at 60. So our numbers are not going to be these. These are not our numbers. I don't know why I crossed those off. I totally could have erased those. Duh, Renee. Okay. So our numbers are going to be, what did I say? 2 19s for sure. Just to get those marked off. 2 19s, a 12, and a 10. So those are the numbers that we'll be able to cross off this time. So 2 19s, a 12, and a 10. Okay, so those are all boxes that I'm going to be able to color in at our next cash envelope stuffing. And then this will be able to be colored in with my next paycheck. So that is all set. Let's add all this together, see where we're at. So far, 100 plus 15 plus 60. That leaves us with 175. And we had 318, so that leaves us with 143. Let's put 10 in for our stove. Let's make it a nice even number, actually. Let's put 13 in. So that's going to leave us with 130. And I am just going to put that right into savings. We have some extra expenses coming up as far as like Easter and things like that. So I'm just going to keep it in the account. That way if I overspend anywhere or anything like that, I have more in my buffer. So that's where that's going to go. And then that leaves us with our zero-based budget. So now we are going to transfer this all over to here. Now we are going to, sorry, that was my son. Now we are going to transfer this all over to here and see what our denominations that we need are from the bank. So for groceries, gas, spending, dining out, medical, toiletries, allowance, miscellaneous, entertainment, Christmas, clothing, vacation, birthday, pet, holiday, homeschool, home, baby, car maintenance, emergency, savings for the kids, 52-week challenge, and stove. Okay, so let's add all that up together. $986. Let's check and make sure that is right. So the way that I make sure that that is right is that should be the total of this, this, and this, but I have to add back in Andrew and the subscriptions plus $14.38 plus 130. Oops. Okay. It's $14.38 plus 986 plus 35 plus 11 plus 130, $2,600. So we're right on the money for that one. So let's get our denominations in here. This is where I really screw myself up. So, so let's hope that I can get this right again. All right. So for denominations for this, I just like to keep the bills as high as possible. So 250 for gas. I'm just going to do 250s. Spending, 25. Dining out, medical, toiletries. Layla's allowance I like to do in singles because that's how I pay her. Miscellaneous, 50. Also, I pay her in singles because she has her own cash envelope, so it's just easier for her to divide her money among what she wants to save for and spend. So, entertainment. Okay, and so then for Christmas, we have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 5. Clothing is 40. Vacation, 25. Birthday, 20, 30, 5. Pet care, 10. Miscellaneous holiday, homeschool, home, baby, car maintenance, emergency, just 100. The kids' savings, 5s. 60 for, so I'm just going to do 50, 60. And then for stove, 10, 13. So let's add those up. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 13, 16. Okay. 300. 300. I need the calculator for this. 260, 70, 40, and 16. So let's add those up. Let's hope it equals 986. 260, 70, plus 40, plus 16. Yay. Okay, it's 986, so we're all set. I am going to go ahead and take this with me to the bank so I know how much to withdraw. And then the next video you'll see is my cash envelope stuffing. So stay tuned for that. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please feel free to leave them down below. And if you like videos like this, please give them a thumbs up so that I know to keep creating content for you like this. As always, thank you guys so much for the love and support. I am just so glad that you guys have welcomed me back with open arms after my little break. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Bye.